All right, welcome and welcome and welcome to the Lockdown Podcast. We are here to just kind of run down the current Raw and SmackDown. We are going to look at the potential, WrestleMania matches, the ones that might happen, should happen. I don't know, but we'll see. So let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna look at Raw first and kind of how Raw went. So we'll kind of go down the match card. Maybe not in the exact order. But so you
Is
had the kickoff of Raw. You had Rhea come out and basically talk about the WrestleMania match, which um I maybe I'm the only person, but like I'm probably not alone, honestly. But like Rhea versus Becky at WrestleMania. I don't know. It feels like just kind of a repeat. I feel like when you start
pretty
having
much.
you have Becky going for a title, you have Bailey going for a title. Just kind of seems like the status quo of WrestleMania matches as far as the women's division. Um, really haven't heard much as far as a solidified tag team match for the Kabuki Warriors for the title or the tag team titles. I'm not sure if you've heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Most likely, it'd probably be on the kickoff show, probably
Yeah, I
like they
mean,
did at the Australia Elimination Chamber match.
yeah, and I think that's become kind of a downplay when you have important matches on a kickoff show. I don't feel like that's really solidifying what those titles are. Um,
Don't
but
get me
anyway,
wrong.
so
Don't get me wrong. The women's tag team match is it's good, but
yeah,
they don't do jack squat for these titles.
yeah, they're not important, and honestly, even to go a step further, that like the undisputed tag titles, they're not defended that often, and they're not really defended in you know any match that feels like, oh my gosh, they're gonna lose the titles, right? And it's just not like they're getting kind of squashy. But so you have Chelsea versus Raquel. Raquel wins. Go figure. Now this is the funniest thing, and we were talking about before we went on, is that you're starting to see Shinsuke Nakamura basically start these feuds out of nowhere. Runs a promo in the back in a little red lit room or whatever, and he seems to be having more of these happen. I think this is probably the third one. I think
It
you
is. It's
know,
so
it,
far the third one.
I it's just stupid. It's like what are they just trying to figure out what to do with Shinsuke? Because like they're not putting him in title contentions. They're not putting him in real meaningful feuds at all. Um,
They're just putting them into some random boring matches just to kind of fill in a little gap on the show, kind of like.
yeah, I think that's what it's becoming, honestly. Um, so you have before the street fight of Imperium New Day, you have kind of Gunther discussing, who's his next contender for, the IC belt. And I think a lot of places that I've read upon and I've seen that it's kind of pointing towards a multi-man match for the
Yeah,
IC title at WrestleMania.
I think it's gonna be a ladders match.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to kind of do a multiple man match and have it go
Hmm.
longevity. Um, there's kind of
The
a
only person I know won't win that match would be uh Dominic Mysterio. If they give it to him, I'll be so annoyed.
oh, shoot us now, shoot us now. and I don't know, like, it's gonna be probably at least 6 guys. You have a lot of different guys fighting for, for the title, and, I feel like the ghost pick, I feel like the one that would make sense is that if you have Braun Breaker come on and he just spears everyone and takes the IC title. Um,
They're
Braun
putting
Braun
him.
coming,
They need to do a little bit more with him on
yeah.
SmackDown.
I mean, I think, he's gonna have a couple squash matches, on the main roster for a little bit, and that's fine. Um, yeah, and so we'll see, in the developing, weeks, as we're, roughly a month away from WrestleMania. So I mean, there's the card's gonna fill out. It's gonna fill out probably. I would say maybe a match or two a week. There's gonna fill something out. But and so now you had Seth and Drew kind of exchange words, and you hear Seth continue, you know, to talk bloodline. The bloodline is continues to screw other wrestlers. They continue to screw just everybody, and it's so overplayed. It's so we're over it.
I'm
It's
tired of it.
so you basically kind of have Seth basically just telling Drew like, hey, the bloodline needs to get dealt with. And honestly, Drew, as of recent, is kind of like, I don't care how I win, and like, and his heel turn is kind of it's pretty subpar. You talk
It
about,
it it's his it doesn't even seem like a heel. Drew seems more like he's a heel slash babyface, kinda a little bit of both.
well, I mean, because of how he talks, it sounds very, very heel. But his behavior, doesn't really, exemplify the full heel turn. But well, again, we're a month away. So I mean, I don't think that, this is the end, be all end all. And then you have Shayna and Zoe versus Candice and Indy, and really, again, a useless tag match, a filler tag match. Shayna and Zoe, I feel like are definitely more viable competitors for the women's tag team titles. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. I love you guys. You guys are the sweetest, but you're just jobbers. Um,
Pretty
now
much.
now given all the debacle from Elimination Chamber and everything else. Now you have Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Um, Obviously there was a before segment with Becky and Nia kind of going biting their heads off, whatever, from the beginning of the show. Where Nia attacked her, and so obviously it was a good match. And then obviously Becky gets involved, and then Liv's pissed about it. But it's like you don't you know how things go. Um, and so now, you have the finish of the show of Cody Rhodes versus Grayson Waller. Um,
It was
Really
a good
no
match.
surprise in the, good match, but no surprise in the end. Um, so we'll move over to SmackDown with what seems to be probably the biggest match, WrestleMania night one, which kind of takes away from everybody else's title matches, but like, and then who knows when it's going to go on. So Bloodline comes out on SmackDown, and they, talking up and down about, Cody Rhodes, challenging The Rock and everything else. And so, The Rock being Mr. TKO board member, which kind of leads your mind down multiple avenues. Like, how much influence does he have? Is he like, how far on the board is he? Um, so he comes out and makes the supposed match, Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth, WrestleMania night one. Again, we don't know where that match is gonna fall. You know, because I mean, obviously, if Seth has to fight at the end of the night too, so unless Seth goes to night 2 and co-headlines, because they're not gonna make him wrestle two matches in one night.
No.
So I say that match, you know, headlines night 1, you know, and then I would say the, you know, one of the women's matches will kind of come before that. Um, so I mean, I think Rhea and Becky, you know, I don't think
I
that's
think they're
really
gonna be
gonna.
on night 1.
I think it's gonna fall like mid card, like as far as like the night.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't find that being the main event
Well,
because
because
I think Seth's match will be.
because I mean, I think, like I said, I think that they might push the Seth match to night 2, you know, because you do have Bailey, you know, winning the Royal Rumble 2 headline. So you do have that to throw in the mix. Like, you don't want to put her getting a, you know, a main event at WrestleMania match to be downplayed. So, um, but anyway, so and then you have,
Understandable.
and so now, see, this is the conundrum that I face is that, so now you have all these wrestlers coming back. You know, you have Naomi back, you have Jade Cargill, you have, you know, a bunch of other wrestlers that have been main roster pushed. So you have Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton, which I feel like they're gonna start pushing Tiffany Stratton. I think
Oh,
that.
I definitely will because of the motivation she got at the freaking Elimination Chamber.
Oh yeah, dude, they were surprised. I think even she was surprised. I think that,
She was.
you know, I think that Tiffany Stratton is you know, the near future. Like I'm thinking title contention in 6 months and a title victory in the next 9 months to a year.
I totally
I
100%
think
agree.
that, you know, I think that she oozes a persona that you're kind of cross between you hate her, but you love her. Um, and I think it's cool that, you know, she really wasn't in NXT for that long, which when you get a push that quick from NXT to the main roster, that says something. Um, so now you have Kabuki Warriors with Io Sky versus Bailey and Dakota Kai, which, you know, I think we've finally completed the full circle of the destruction of Damage Control, which is kind of irony, honestly.
I'm kind
Damage
of
Control
glad
is
it's over
basically,
with.
I think, yeah, it's fine. I think it's finally the nail in the coffin. I honestly don't like. I feel like Dakota Kai is more of a manager at this point, anyways. I
Yeah,
don't
every
think.
time she gets to the ring and do anything, she gets hurt. I'm shocked that she didn't get hurt in this match.
Oh yeah, I mean it's. I mean, she had little involvement other than like the mess up at the end, but you know, I don't. I think Dakota Kai is basically just a glorified manager at this point. I think that's what she's gonna do moving forward. Um, and so now you get Braun Breaker versus just some no-name wrestler, some, you know, basically get over talent.
Really quick match. A spear
Yeah.
and he ended.
Well, and dude, I think Braun again, much like Tiffany Stratton, dude, I think Braun, like, he's the near future. That dude
Oh
has a
yeah.
spear at like 23 miles an hour, dude. Like, that dude he's fast, he's explosive. I mean, he's
He's the
not as big
fastest
as Brock
person that can bounce
Lesnar.
off those ropes.
You know, and he's not as big as Brock Lesnar by any stretch, but like he's definitely like a miniature Brock Lesnar, you know. And so I mean, he's explosive, which is crazy for a man like that. You know, he is still a big dude. Like I still would not want to bump into him at a bar,
Oh hell no. I'm good. I'd be like, nope, nope.
right? And you're
You say
6'2",
I'll buy you a drink and leave you alone.
right? You know, and so now so you're kind of running down the card here. We got Santos versus Carlito in a street fight,
That was boring.
and so you get the Santos kind of revamping Legado del Fantasma, which originally was with Cruz del Toro and the other guy. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name either.
But or Joaquin Wild and Del Cruz, yeah. And so you have kind of a flipping of the page per se, because now you have Santos with basically, Legado del Fantasma 2.0. You have the LWO with Carlito, and you have, it's
Rey
an
Mysterio.
interesting, yeah, and so Rey Mysterio finally comes back. They think he's on crutches. They're kind of laughing at him, and he just beats the holy hell out of these guys with his crutches. So,
I think
I
he
think,
breaks one of them.
oh yeah, dude, he was hitting them hard.
He went to town hitting those suckers hard with that damn
Oh yeah,
thing.
dude. I don't even I mean, obviously, we know that he's not legitimately hitting them with full force, but either way, dude, when those things bend, dude, you have to use some amount of force to bend those things. So, and so obviously Carlito wins with the I mean, it's a straight fight. There's not really rules, so and so Carlito wins that, and I think we're gonna push into a Legado del Fantasma LWO fight at WrestleMania. I think that'll happen.
I think so.
And they usually have, I think it's, how many matches do they usually have at WrestleMania? I think it's like 8 per night. I think 6 or 8.
It's about I think it's about 7 or 8.
Yeah, and so I think that's definitely a potential for a coming match kind of in the works, something kind of mid-card. So now we're gonna go down the current match card, which all we really have right now. You have the Seth Rollins match versus Drew. You have Roman versus um
Cody.
you have Roman versus Cody. And so you're kind of you're you got like 4 matches confirmed, which are obviously like Beckley, Rhea versus Becky. You have Bayley versus Io Sky. You have Roman versus Cody, and then you have Seth versus Drew. And so we're gonna kind of discuss the possibilities of matches. Brought to you by the
Like Jimmy
information of
like the
Sportskeeda.com.
brothers.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll give credit where credit's due, because a lot of times, sometimes outside sources do have good information. So this is brought to you by Sportskeeda.com. So, so you have the Gunther defends his title in a multi-man match, which obviously we've already been saying this for a while. Which really, I mean, that's the best way to put as many wrestlers in a match on WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is more about filling the card of people out there, even if they don't even win a title. So you have Jimmy and Jay. And obviously you're in Philadelphia, so it's it's only fitting to, in the city of
Brotherly love.
to have, yeah. And so you're kind of, Jimmy and Jay is definitely gonna happen. You have the little bit of not really much build up, but you got to put Bianca Belair in WrestleMania somehow, because she's a big draw. And
Yep.
by the looks of it, possibly Jade Cargill actually, wrestles a match that's not a multiple person match. And we also have a Logan Paul versus Randy Orton possibility, which I feel like the
For the
fallout
United
from
States.
Elimination Chamber. What did I say? So Logan Paul versus Randy Orton for the United States title.
Yeah, I think Me personally, hopefully this one is true because of what happened at Elimination Chamber. We'll find out next week on SmackDown because
Yeah,
Logan
it's
Paul's gonna be there.
kind of proper fallout.
Yeah.
Um, and so you have that potential. You have the continued clashing between AJ Styles and LA Knight. That's a potential. Which I mean, that could be a main event on a Raw, on like SmackDown or something. I don't think that this whatever thing belongs at WrestleMania. But again, you have to fill the card, and again, we have a month till then. So I mean, we'll see kind of how that plays out. And you have obviously you have to have Judgment Day do something, right? You have to have their titles defended, and I mean, it's looking like maybe like Awesome Truth, possibly, maybe, I mean, the
I'd be
mini
okay
list,
with Awesome Truth.
dude. R-Truth is a G when it comes to like roles, dude. I was looking at something the other day when he was talking about the little Jimmy when when he was doing that whole like invisible little Jimmy character and like his invisible friend, like R-Truth. You like if you've just started watching wrestling and you're like, who's this goofy dude, like look back, just go YouTube just R-Truth moments, dude. The guy, he's just
It's a
hilarious.
He's
He's
hilarious all
funny.
the way
He's
around.
funny. It's literally, and it's like people that he's having these little things with have trouble keeping a straight face. And so, but anyways, back to the
He makes people break their characters.
oh yeah, dude. And so, okay, so we have, the potential tag match, right? I mean, it could be anybody at this point, but like my thing is, and I think is what a lot of people is what's Damian Priest doing with the Money in the Bank? This has been honestly probably the most lackluster um Money in the Bank holder I've ever seen. I mean, you've had people cash in the same night. You've had people cash in the night after. You've had people cash in at like a premium live event. You have all these awesome cash-ins. Going as far back as like the OG holder of Money in the Bank, which was Edge. You have these aha moments, but like we're really kind of we're getting down to brass tacks here when it comes to cashing in Money in the Bank. And obviously you have a little bit of time before have to cash in, we'll call it. But like you know my thing is that when are you going to do it? Like when makes sense? Because if you're going to have to lose those titles. And again, we'll say this for till the cows come home, the titles need to be split up again,
I'm gonna laugh if Cody wins the title, gives him the title, and he cashes in on Cody
which I think could happen.
and take it from him to screw
You know.
Cody over.
Well, I mean, but it
And
could go either way though.
WWE's good with that. They're good
I
at
mean,
screwing people over.
I honestly think that he'd be more apt to cash in on uh on Seth and Drew's match. I feel like that Drew has kind of um I wouldn't say he's been working with them, and I feel like it's only a matter of time before they kind of just screw him over. I you know and then Drew can go back and complain again. Because although I feel like it's more important for WWE right now that Cody holds a title than Drew holds a title. I think Drew wants to hold the title to say he did it in front of a live crowd,
That's what I
but
think
that
he wants to
but
do.
that's it. But that's it. That's all that matters. Drew, the only thing that matters to Drew right now is holding the title up in front of a live crowd. And so him beating Seth, all right, cool. Seth, you get a break. which he needs. So, I think so.
I
Seth
think they
taking a break.
I think they I think they're gonna get Seth probably if he loses his title to Drew. I could see them maybe giving him maybe 5, 6 months off just to
Yeah,
recover.
I think Seth needs a break. And although he portrays this persona of, I'll work through anything and I'll grin and bear it, but like the reality is he needs to take a break. So,
Yes, he
well, I mean,
does.
I mean, the dude literally, I mean, it's not even like kayfabe, like, oh, it's a fake injury. Like, no, he's legitimately has injuries. Like,
No, he's
his knee
definitely
is
hurt.
also, I mean,
His knee
like,
is fucked. His
well, and the thing is too
his
is like,
back is messed up.
yeah, I mean, and the thing is too is like leg injuries. I mean, like, I have torn meniscus because of my knee, like, and I'm fine. But like, I think the back issue is where he really needs to take a break.
I
You
know that
know,
feeling.
and so I think at this point he needs to take a break for his back more than anything else. Like the knee surgeries, whatever. I mean, honestly, you get your torn meniscus. You take, they go in there, they scope it, and they fix it. And that's something that it'll take maybe a couple weeks. But the back issue, I think the back issue is a real problem. And I think he'd stay on the road and he'd be there, with Becky and their child and everything. But I don't think he'll be on TV. I think honestly he might just be off TV in general for like you said, maybe 4 or 5 months. Um, and maybe he comes back like after Money in the Bank. Um, and I feel like that'd give him sufficient time to, you know, take a break. And but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
It's
Mm.
it's wrestling, dude. It's injuries are prone to happen because it's not like these people have stunt doubles, okay? And here's a
They're not like
PSA
these
for
movie stars.
no, here's a PSA for you guys. Guess what? You call wrestling fake? What do you think TV shows are? What do you even The Rock has a stunt double, okay? Mr. Big Glorious Rock, guess what? Stunt double. Vin Diesel, stunt double. You think that like these movies and TV shows are real either? You guys watch reality TV. That's not even reality. At least we know what wrestling is. But guess what?
Yep.
They really do these moves. I want to see one of you guys jump off the top rope onto a table.
Yeah,
I
you got these athletes out there who are football players, UFC, MMA fighters that come into the
yeah.
wrestling business, and they
Yeah.
even say the shit the WWE or any wrestlers do is difficult to do.
Oh yeah.
It's not for anybody.
Exactly. So suck it to you all you haters of wrestling. Oh, it's fake. Guess what? So is everything you watch. Like think about it. Like reality TV is not reality. You think The Bachelor and Bachelorette and all that crap is real? No, it's all staged. There's nothing that's reality TV. I'm sorry. I hate to bust your bubbles, but guess what? Nope. It's fake. It's all BS. At least wrestling is
Well,
entertaining. You know, you don't go to a live taping of a TV show anymore.
and plus lots of times these stories that these superstars do are a little bit better than some of the TV shows that you actually watch.
So, exactly. So, screw you haters of wrestling. So, and, I just watch wrestling and watch the entertainment value of that because guess what? It's live. There's no tapings anymore. Raw live, SmackDown's live.
SmackDown's live,
You
NXT's
know,
live.
yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I implore you to watch your little TV shows and talk about how wrestling's fake. I want someone to legitimately entertain me, and if you have anything that you want to blab at me, here's my email. Go ahead. The Lockdown Podcast 1 at Gmail. I want you to debate me. I want you to debate me on anything you want. Go for it.
You could always jump on here and you can debate us
Yeah,
both if you
yeah.
want to.
Bring it on.
I,
Come on the show.
I'll take it.
Dude, I would love to have some I hate wrestling. But
Hey,
you
I deal with a
watch
lot more. I deal with a
but
lot
you
more debates on Call of Duty. I can
but
handle
you
it.
but you watch the Kardashians, okay?
Oh god,
Like,
those are some fake ass women.
oh my gosh.
If
Yeah,
you want to
no.
call them women,
Oh my gosh. No, they're all plastic Barbies. But I could go on a rant. We could literally do an episode of how much I hate reality TV. Like, no cap, no cap. So, but you do you, we'll do
you do
we.
you, boo boo.
Exactly. But we'll be back probably next Sunday to kind of go back over, Raw and SmackDown and see, what's coming of WrestleMania match card. I mean, like I said, we got a month. Anything can happen.
Got
Card is
like
subject to change, and so this is the Lockdown Podcast.
got 3
Deuces.
weeks.